today. His face is one of the most recognizable in the world. His name appears on thousands of restaurants across more than 100 countries. Every single day, millions of people eat the food that carries his signature. But almost nobody remembers the man who existed before the white suit. The man who lost his father as a child, left home before he finished school, spent decades drifting from one job to another. Railroad worker, insurance salesman, lawyer, ferry operator, gas station owner. Every time he thought he'd finally built something, life tore it away. A bridge destroyed one business, a highway destroyed another. By the age of 65, he had already lived through more failure than most people experience in a lifetime. Most people would have called it the end. The world certainly did. But history was about to play one last joke, because the greatest success of his life hadn't happened yet. At an age when most people were planning retirement, he was about to risk everything he had left on nothing more than a pressure cooker, a handwritten recipe, and the belief that it was never too late to begin again. History remembers him as Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. But KFC isn't the most extraordinary part of his story. The extraordinary part is how many times life knocked him down, and how many times he chose to stand back up. This is the story of Harland Sanders, and this is his second life. Before we begin this journey, if you also enjoy discovering the secrets behind the success of extraordinary people, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple action, but it helps this channel reach more people who are striving to achieve greater things in life, just like you. And now, imagine opening your eyes one morning and realizing that you are that person. The journey begins. You are 6 years old in rural Indiana, and your father has just died. Your mother has to work to support the family, which means someone has to take care of your younger brother and sister. That someone is you. You learn to cook because a family has to eat, and there's no one else to do it. You stand on a stool to reach the stove. Nobody tells you this will matter someday. It doesn't feel like the start of anything. It feels like what's left after something ends. Your mother remarries. The relationship with your stepfather is difficult. And by your early teens, you've had enough of it. You leave home for good with no real trade, no finished schooling, and no one waiting to catch you if this goes wrong. You're still a child in years. You are already an adult in responsibility. Cooking, for you, is not a talent yet. It's survival. Remember that. It's going to matter again. For the next few decades, you do not follow a path. You follow whatever work is in front of you. You shovel coal on the railroad night after night, until that ends too. You study law by correspondence and practice for a while, until a dispute with a client ends that chapter for good. You start a ferry boat company, moving people and wagons across a river for a fee. And for a while, it actually works. People need to cross. You're the one who gets them there, and the money is steady. Then a bridge goes up a short distance away, and overnight, nobody needs a boat anymore. There are other jobs in between: insurance, tires, whatever pays. Each one starts the same way, with the hope that this might finally be the thing that holds. And each one ends the same way too. By your late 30s, you have been fired. You have quit. You have watched businesses become obsolete under you. And you have started over more times than you can count. Other men your age are settling into careers, building something they can hand down. You're still looking for the first thing worth handing down at all. You are not a young man anymore. You still don't know what you're building toward. Then you end up running a service station in Corbin, Kentucky. And for the first time, something starts to hold. The gas station is ordinary. What isn't ordinary is what happens when hungry travelers start asking if there's anywhere nearby to eat. There isn't. So you start feeding them yourself. in a small dining area attached to the station. You cook the way you've always cooked, because you have to, because it's in front of you. Except now people are paying for it and coming back for it and telling other people about it. The restaurant grows. You add tables, then a bigger dining room, then a motel next door for travelers who don't want to get back on the road at night. For the first time since you were a boy standing at the stove, you're not moving from one thing to the next. You're staying and building on top of what you already built the year before. The state recognizes you with an honorary title, Kentucky Colonel, a ceremonial honor, not a military rank, though it will end up defining how the world sees you for the rest of your life. Your chicken becomes the thing people specifically drive out of their way for. There's just one problem. Cooked the way you like it, the chicken takes almost half an hour, and travelers with a road ahead of them don't want to wait that long. Fry it faster the ordinary way, and it comes out greasy or dry or wrong. Good enough is not what's building your reputation, and you know it. So you start experimenting with pressure cookers, not to steam vegetables the way they're meant to be used, but to fry. You force the chicken to cook faster under pressure without losing what makes it good. Batch after batch comes out wrong before one comes out right. It takes trial after trial, late nights standing over the stove the same way you once stood on a stool as a boy before you get it. When you finally do, the problem isn't the chicken anymore. It's how far you can take it. You also refine a blend of seasoning. Exactly what's in it, you keep to yourself, and you always will. Everything you've learned by accident, cooking out of necessity as a child, selling out of necessity as a young man, dealing with impatient travelers, running a business on a road that could change at any moment, starts to come together in one place. For the first time in your life, your scattered experience makes sense, but the road that built this business is about to take it away. You build this place up over years, then the ground under it changes. New highway projects begin reshaping the routes travelers use through Kentucky. Traffic patterns shift, and more drivers begin bypassing the road that once brought them straight to your door. You watch the parking lot that used to fill up by noon stay half empty through dinner. Your customers don't disappear because they stopped liking your chicken. They disappear because the road moved. You sell the restaurant and the motel, and what you're left with afterward is far from the fortune the world will later associate with your name. You are around retirement age, and the thing that finally worked, the thing that took your whole life to build, has been taken from you by decisions made in offices you had no say in, by men who never once tasted what they were erasing. This has happened before. A bridge once made your ferry pointless. Now, a highway has made your restaurant pointless. Same shape, different road. But this time you're not in your 20s or 30s. You're 65. You learned to cook as a child because your family needed to survive. Nearly 60 years later, cooking is about to become survival again. Most success stories would end here. Yours is about to begin. You could take what's left of the sale money and call it a life. Plenty of men would. You sit with that option for a while, but the restlessness that pushed you through every earlier failure hasn't gone anywhere just because your hair has gone gray. You still have the recipe. You still have the pressure cooker. What you don't have anymore is a building to put them in. So you stop thinking about how to rebuild what the highway took and start thinking about what you actually have left that no highway can touch. You get in the car with a pressure cooker, a case of seasoning, and an idea. Instead of running one restaurant, why not teach other restaurants to cook your chicken? And take a few cents for every piece they sell. You drive from town to town, sometimes stretching every dollar just to keep going. You walk into restaurant kitchens uninvited, offer to cook a batch of chicken for the owner, right there on their own stove, and ask them to taste it. Sometimes they say yes, often they say no, and you pack up the pressure cooker and carry it back out to the car by yourself. You're an older man asking working restaurant owners to change how they cook, based on nothing but a demonstration and a handshake. Years later, people will attach an exact number to how many times you were turned down. The evidence doesn't support that number. The truth is simpler. You heard no often enough that most men your age would have gone home. You don't. You get back in the car. There's another restaurant 20 miles down the road. At 65, you are not selling chicken yet. You are selling belief, one kitchen at a time. Then one kitchen changes everything. In Salt Lake City, a restaurant owner named Pete Harmon agrees to try your chicken. It sells, fast and often, and people keep coming back for it, asking for it by name. Harmon doesn't just serve it. He helps turn the chicken into something customers can recognize, order, and remember. Other restaurant owners start noticing what's happening in his kitchen and driving out of their way to see it for themselves. That's when it becomes clear to you. The chicken was never the whole idea. The idea is that this can travel without you rebuilding a restaurant around it, without a lease, without a highway that can be rerouted out from under you. The highway took away your restaurant, so you build a business that doesn't need one. More restaurants sign on. Word travels the way it once traveled between hungry drivers pulling off the highway in Corbin. One satisfied customer telling another, one restaurant owner telling a competitor down the road. The arrangement stays simple. They cook your recipe, they pay you a few cents a chicken, and your name and your face start appearing on their signs. What started as one old man driving alone, stretching every dollar, cooking on borrowed stoves, becomes something bigger than any single kitchen, including the one the highway took from you. You are still driving constantly, still cooking demonstrations by hand, still older than every other person walking into these negotiations. But you are no longer starting from nothing. Each new restaurant makes the next one easier to convince. Because now, you're not just a man with a recipe, you're a man with proof. As the restaurants multiply, something else starts happening. You aren't just the man behind the recipe anymore. For most of your life, you've been Harland Sanders, railroad man, ferry operator, salesman, cook, a man who tried on jobs the way other people try on coats and never found one that fit for long. Now, in your 60s, you begin dressing as the man the world will remember. White suit, black string tie, goatee grown out and groomed. You lean fully into the Colonel title, turning an honorary distinction into a character people recognize on sight before they've even tasted the chicken. Harland Sanders spent decades trying to find a business. Colonel Sanders becomes the business. You travel constantly, visiting restaurants, appearing at openings, cooking chicken for cameras, shaking every hand offered to you. Children ask for your autograph, newspapers run your photo. The company finally takes off, not only because the food is good, but because you, personally, in that white suit, become part of what people are buying. It works better than the restaurant in Corbin ever did. The restaurant needed a location. The Colonel doesn't. He can be in 100 places at once, on 100 signs, while the man underneath the suit is only ever in one car on one road at a time. But the company built around your name is growing faster than one aging man can run it by himself, spreading into states you've never driven through, run by people you've never met. By 1964, the company is a nationwide operation with hundreds of franchised restaurants, too large for one man in his 70s to run alone. You sell the United States business to a group of investors, including Jack Massey and John Y. Brown Jr. You stay on as the public face of the brand, a paid ambassador, still traveling, still appearing, still shaking every hand offered to you, while retaining rights to the Canadian operations. The deal makes you wealthier than any earlier venture ever did. More money than the boy who once stood on a stool to reach the stove could have imagined. But something strange comes with the money. Your face is now everywhere, on buckets, on signs, on television, in cities you've never set foot in. And the company using that face is no longer fully yours to direct. In later years, you speak openly and critically about changes to the food and the way some restaurants are run under the new ownership. Unhappy to see standards slip on something that still carries your name and still hangs on your reputation. What happens when your identity becomes more valuable than your control over it? You don't slow down the way most 70-year-olds do. You keep traveling, keep making appearances, keep showing up at restaurants and events long after most people would call it enough. The white suit becomes one of the most recognized images in American business, a face known to people who couldn't tell you a single other thing about the company behind it. Your health eventually declines, as it does for everyone, and you die in 1980 at 90 years old. At 65, the world might have considered your story mostly finished. Instead, the next 25 years made you one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. For most of your life, the road decided what happened to you. A bridge ended your ferry. A highway ended your restaurant. Every time the ground shifted, you were the one left standing in what used to be a business, wondering what came next. Then, at 65, you got into a car. This time, the road doesn't take your business away. It carries your idea farther than one restaurant ever could. You were not a child prodigy. You did not build an empire in your 20s. You did not discover your destiny early. You moved from job to job. You lost opportunities, circumstances kept collapsing around you, and you kept doing whatever came next, the same way you learned to, standing on a stool at 6 years old. At 65, the age when most people are told their productive life is nearly over, you had to start again, and the face the world now associates with success was already an old man's face when success truly arrived. Was it the chicken recipe? The salesmanship? The stubbornness? Or was it something simpler? Your willingness, again and again, to accept that one version of your life was over and begin another. Your name was Harland Sanders, and this was your second life. Thank you for joining us on today's journey. This story may have come to an end, but the journey of extraordinary people never truly stops. There are still countless lessons, decisions, and moments that changed history waiting to be discovered. The next chapter may arrive sooner than most people expect. If you enjoy exploring the mindset, habits, and secrets behind the world's greatest achievers, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple action, but it helps us continue creating inspiring stories for people who are always striving to achieve more in life. And who knows, in the next episode, you may wake up in the life of another legend. We'll see you in the next journey.